one person from Full House I know, and it's Bob Saget.
Well, I don't know his name either. I'm just saying you know who I'm talking about though, right? The one who does the puppets.
Yeah. I did not watch a lot of Full House.
I haven't like binged it, but I just saw it a lot on TV.
Ba-ba-ba-doo-boop.
But he
talking.
is the guy from that song, like the Alanis Morissette song, which means that she went down on him in a movie theater. That like uncle with the puppets and stuff like that. Alanis Morissette went down on him in a movie theater, dude.
I'm really glad that we don't give a fuck about the YouTube. Like, keep it PG for 1 minute at the beginning. I'm going to open the episode with you saying, she went down on Bob Saget in a movie theater.
It wasn't Bob Saget. Bob Saget was the dad in the show.
Which one was the...
I don't know his
What are you
name.
talking about?
It's one of the uncles.
From Full House. Okay, I'm going to pull up the Full House cast list real quick.
Yeah, I could have done that, but I just was too lazy.
Well,
and my phone's also in front of you.
Here you go. I don't have two phones. I'm not like Uber.
I don't have two phones either anymore.
Why does every time you don't
My
have
other
an
phone
internet
broke.
connection, this like it comes up on IMDb? It's like the inconceivable from freaking Princess Bride.
Wait,
What was I looking at? Full House.
I was about to say, wait, what couldn't it find?
It just didn't have an internet. Our internet's
Oh,
been.
okay.
Have you noticed the internet's been not great the past couple days?
Yeah,
We might need to
I
touch
couldn't tell
that
if it was my
before.
phone.
No, it's not because it's on everything. So I'm gonna first off I'm going to data and then I'm gonna
Yeah,
continue. But we got what was I talking about? Yeah, we got to deal with that before we do catch a movie tonight because this was the one time we don't have the DVD. They're in front of us. So if you wanna pick apart what we're doing for Halloween this year, it's right in front of us. I mean, I didn't move them. You didn't. I just want to know what Full House uncle got blown in a movie theater.
You don't need to know his name. All right, you have his face. He does the puppet, the woodchuck puppet.
I know.
All right, that by itself is
John Stamos, Bob Saget, Dave Coulier.
Let me see the name.
He's the one that doesn't have a photo on this IMDb page.
I guarantee you, it's him.
Oh no, he does. It just wasn't that guy. Is that him?
Oh yeah, I don't really know how to read that either. Like I don't want to
Coulier.
pronounce it.
Was that him though?
Yeah, that was
Okay. The one we can't pronounce is the one.
He was I never knew that. He was Alanis Morissette's ex-boyfriend. Alanis Morissette's ex-boyfriend who she sang about in that song.
Yeah, we should clarify. You were talking about a song.
Yeah. I also did not know we were starting. I thought you were testing your mic because it's the first time you'd walked over here, so I wasn't ready.
No, it's fine. If your mic's working, my mic's working, at least in theory. In fact, yeah, you are right. I should just like tap on the mixer because is this like in? I don't know if this is doing anything.
I don't know. I didn't know everything was fixed.
Okay, yeah, it's working. That's fine. It's fine.
This is a great start.
We're running by the seat of our pants here.
First time I've done long hair in so long.
It is, and
This
it's
is how it
it's the first
feels.
time I've done it in a while.
This is how it feels.
Because we haven't been we've been busy. First off, we have not been around, and then the whole channel shuffle, which if you're unaware, there's a new channel that all the podcasts are going on for the video versions of these. It's called Blue Curl Podcast. Most of you are watching this on Spotify. I know what the analytics are, but it's there if you want to watch us talk, it's there. If you want to see me in my pajamas. And you might be asking, Johnny, it's so unprofessional. Why are we wearing because it's fucking cold, okay?
There's also
I'm cold.
the basement of the house.
Yeah, our studio is in a basement. We are underground.
I'm never going to tell any of you how to dress in the basement of your house.
Yeah,
Okay?
and it's fine. It's like we're allowed to just be comfortable, man. If you don't like it, then go listen to the audio podcast with 90% of our other listeners. It is hilarious to look at those number differences to me because it's normally like a 0 added on or 2 added on just to like how many differences.
Yeah.
And it does make me worried about YouTube as a platform as a whole. Just and then you compare that to like TikTok nonsense and then everything else, and I'm just like I don't have the energy. As much as I talk about it, I don't actually look at it that much because I can't bring myself to do it
Yeah.
every year or every time we throw one. We put 3 videos out a week now.
Yeah.
So like doing that is like
yeah.
or 3 podcasts out a week. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
The most I'll look at is like the differences between each shows and how they do it, and that's more of like my own. That's my own getting blown in a movie theater. That's just an orgasmic thing to be like, man, I'm doing pretty good right now. Sorry, Matt.
I'm glad. I'm glad that was your metaphor.
It's callback. Internet Down and Long Hair are always like kind of neck and neck. So when I bring that up, hey, Matt probably is listening to this and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
but they do both fine.
It's just because it's new, Matt. Don't worry.
It's fine, Matt. I know he was very adamant to me, but like, hey, dude, I listen to the show because like I like support you as a friend. I technically listen to Internet Down because I edit the show.
Yeah.
I have to do it every week.
Yeah.
Every Saturday or so, or every like we normally record them on Thursday, so sometime between that Saturday and Monday when it comes out, I'm like, well, might as well do the edit for it. But yeah, you have not been on here for a minute.
I cannot remember the last time that I did this show. We've been doing Catch a Movie for a long time.
Yeah, Catch a Movie's been a pain. Not a pain. It's actually a really easy show to film.
Yeah.
It's just we liked doing special things for Halloween every year.
Yeah.
So it does become more of an undertaking. If it was just, oh yeah, there's 4 weeks in this month, let's watch 4 movies, that's fine. But then Halloween comes around and we're like, well, time to watch 13 serial killer movies.
Time to just completely just murder my eyeballs with
We've done
UV light.
better this year than we did last year. I have a feeling we'll actually finish this franchise this year.
I think that we're on a good track.
Yeah,
we've got it planned out.
There's still like several more days in this month, and then they'll start coming out. We're actually technically behind schedule, I guess, but
we got through all the important Friday the 13th. I think everyone can agree.
Yeah,
we got all the way to Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah,
that's pretty far into the series.
That is pretty good.
I mean, I feel like we should
actually,
definitely watch the rest.
I don't think.
I mean,
Jason Takes Manhattan ever went up because I think we fell asleep during it.
Did we?
Yeah, I think so. So I never put it out because I'm like, man. So technically, we only got to part 7, A New Blood.
I kind of do remember you telling me that you weren't gonna put it up because we were both.
we were
because we trucked through some of those. That's why we didn't finish.
We
watched
burned ourselves
all
out. 7 of those in like 2 days.
Yeah, that's what we're not doing with Halloween. Yeah. We're starting early enough that we have like
you spoiled
at most, huh?
Nothing. They're right there. They can see. You can do the math. You know what we're watching.
Oh, I didn't really perceive the fact that this was not like out in the open yet.
Actually, it is because it was on last week's episode of Long Hair. I announced it. So yeah, never mind. And there's also an announcement video going up in like a couple days that I've been working day and night on.
Yeah. By the time this is out, you guys will probably know. Anyone who actually keeps with the thread of all of our, it's like our universe of podcasts
I'm pretty sure
and stuff. You watch
week
all of them.
Is Mask of the Phantasm, Batman, and then next week right after that is when we'll start because it's like August 30th or something like that. So I was just like, we'll start on the 30th. Yeah. It's better than having to put one out on the 30th and then all through October just be like Halloween. At least this way I can
throw it in your face. Throw it in your face. No, but yeah, I'm excited. I like this series so far.
We're 3 movies in. We gotta watch the rest of these.
We've talked about jumping the shark a few times.
Yeah.
And we're not that far in yet. So
jumping the shark,
afraid.
Not people that didn't go to art school. Is that a thing?
Is jumping the shark not a common term?
I guess it is, and I guess it's not. I don't know if I'm sure all of our English majors know what it is, but it's a reference to the old show Happy Days. Sunday, Monday, Happy Days. Jumping the shark refers to. There's one episode where the Fonz literally has to take his motorcycle and jump a shark. And it is kind of signified
late in the series.
Yeah, pretty late in this. It is kind of signified as like the episode where the show starts to take a downwards hill.
Yeah,
it's when they were running out of ideas because the show ran for so long.
Yeah.
jumping the shark just refers to like the point where you're like, all right, we're not coming back from this, and it's just kind of a downward hill. I feel like with the Friday the 13th movies, I feel like it's somewhere around like, I'd have to relook at a bunch of these, but I feel like it's got to be part 5. Part 5 is where the kid eats the chocolate, then gets the axe to the head, and then Jason's not in it, just like the first movie. And
yeah, I would say I agree, because once you do like a copycat killer of your own movie, then it's like,
and it's kind of,
why do you?
Well, because that movie's like, even if it was just straight up Jason, that movie's also ridiculous.
Yeah, it was not. It was memorable because of how weird it was. It wasn't memorable because like, oh yeah, this is a really good movie. It was like, okay, a kid murders another kid, then the kid's dad becomes Jason and starts murdering.
If you're wanting to get into the Friday the 13th series, I would basically recommend basically parts 1 through 4, and then maybe like 7 through 8.
I think that we basically agreed that a lot of horror movies that we watched, the first 2 are usually like some of the strongest.
I'll give Friday this because it normally it has like a resurgence when he goes full zombie Jason.
Yeah.
Once he does that, it's like, oh, okay, well now there's some some new life to this.
Yeah.
But like, if I like. Oh, the best movie in the series is the one that is the first one where Jason also wasn't in it.
Yeah. I liked 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and 3 were fine.
Yeah. I think the first 3 Friday the 13th were probably like some of the most solid.
Yeah.
Because that was really that's
what I'm saying.
What built that
1
franchise.
through 4, that's like the serial killer. Like you can watch those, or you can watch the zombie movies that are a little bit more ridiculous.
Yeah. But you get some zombie movies like Dawn of the Dead. Not the early ones, like the later ones that took like a really like the 2000s movie was really realistic and gritty, and like they were in a mall.
Yeah, Romero changes.
Yeah,
Romero especially because like not this just turns into what everything we talk about is, which is just horror movies. Because like Night of the Living Dead is like a masterpiece of a movie, and it's also like a signifier for like a new coming and the ending of like a chapter of horror. I feel like.
Yeah.
And like, is my thing not there? It goes. Okay. I was trying to press the button discreetly and it wasn't working. But Friday and or Nightmare or Night of the Living Dead.
I've been doing that. Don't worry.
Is like a real hallmark because it's that era kind of signifies it's like towards, I believe it's the end of the 60s into or maybe the end of the 50s. I can't remember exactly. The end of that decade, and then like the new coming that would be after that. Why is that camera delayed again? I hate this. I hate this camera setup. Why? Just go back to the other one. Which one is it? There you go. We'll stay here. We're working with new camera stuff this way, and I have not gotten all the bugs kicked out. And by that, I mean I got it in the mail like 3 hours ago. So we're
still some troubleshooting.
What's that? It's Dawn of the Dead next, right? That's the one where they're in the mall.
Yeah. It's Dawn of the Dead.
Also, once again, like, I don't know if you want to call it a sequel to Night.
Yeah.
But it is like if you do want to consider a sequel, it is like it is up there with what were we putting on a list for like top 10 or like the best sequels ever?
Like Shrek 2.
I mean, Shrek 2 was on there, yes, but also like Bride of Frankenstein, stuff like that. Like
I had one that was actually like a legit movie, like sequel that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been another kids movie. There's no telling.
Cinderella 3.
Cinderella 3, my favorite Cinderella movie.
Have you talked about that on here?
Most likely. If it's probably in an older episode.
Oh, I think it's on like your top 10 favorite movies or whatever. That outdated list of ours.
It was probably an honorable mention, but if I haven't talked about it, Cinderella 3 is the most badass Cinderella movie because it has time travel, it has one-liners, it has like chase scenes, it has like funny jokes. Like, it is just, like, my favorite. Because those other ones, I'll watch a Disney movie. I don't mind it. But, you know, just, it's hard to be into, like, the ones where it's like, oh, she gets a gown and goes to the ball. And you've seen it a million times. Like, you already know it. But that one, dude, I can watch it. I keep going back to it throughout the years because it's a good-ass movie, dude. It's a story that doesn't get old. It takes a character that everyone loves and just makes her into an action princess.
I would like everyone at home to please draw a graph and then tweet it to me about our line of thought between George Romero's Dawn of the Dead series, and then to Cinderella. I think it was less than 1 point.
The point of connections that you. I don't know if we didn't ever get to talk about the game that we played, the Sequitur game.
Wait, how did we whatever? There was a cut there. We said things we shouldn't have, but
I felt bad, but I was like,
we're fine. It's fine. We can't say those things, but we can't talk about those things. But we were talking about we're explaining the Sequitur game.
Yeah. Okay. So, the Sequitur game is basically the opposite of the non sequitur game that we learned in like the theater department in high school. Yeah. Which is, if you know what a non sequitur is, it's something that has no relation. So instead, sequitur is just a stream of consciousness game.
You have to say something like just the tangentially like related to something that you said. Yeah. Like the slide, it's something that I think like I'm sure other people can play, but it's so tailored to our brains.
Because like the rules were like you have to say something relevant and you have to be able to justify it, but you can't say the same thing multiple times.
The non sequitur game is basically you have to say something completely unrelated to what the other person said. The sequitur game is you have to say something just slightly connected to what they're saying.
But because we know each other, we can also say names that we would be able to tie to things that we know, which is how I eventually was able to win the sequitur game.
Yes, you are. But like there's the way you win the sequitur. Oh man. Whew. Can we talk about my speech impediment?
Secular, really.
No. The way you win the secular game is that you basically have to call someone on their BS and be like, how is that connected to what I said? And
or they say a word twice.
Or they say something twice. Those be like, so at any point during the game, you have to be like, all right, how is that connected to what I said? Yeah. And I can't think of like a direct thing, but if you said like, the problem is you can't do it on command is the other problem. Yeah. If you were like hold up.
I know it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard to start. You just have to like say a random word and the person just has to start bouncing off of it.
If I was like if you said a zombie movie and then I was like Hanna-Barbera and then you were like what does that have to do? I'm like Scooby-Doo. And that's what it would be.
I'm like, okay, and you'd be like, okay, Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, technically, like, you know.
So then that's a Hanna-Barbera thing. They just have to be a way. It's basically like you have to answer with like the 4th degree to Kevin Bacon.
You have to be like, this is how my brain connected it, and it's valid. Like it's got a direct, like it can't be like 4 degrees. It has to be like basically directly connected. As long as you can, like I said, he said zombie movie or like any zombie movie and Scooby-Doo. And if you just say Scooby-Doo Zombie Island, and that justifies it technically. It does. It's a weird.
But you can't say just Scooby-Doo Zombie Island.
You have to play it among friends, and you basically can't have stakes because it can last for days.
Oh, and the last time we played it, it lasted like 3 days.
But it wasn't straight. Like we didn't just continuously stare at each other and
ate food and went to sleep, and then we would be sitting in the office, and then like the other person would just say something connected to the last thing we said, and then it would just go for 45 minutes.
And then do something else, and like while we're doing other stuff, and then be like, okay, I gotta do something else. I can't do this anymore. And then you break away, and then like the third day.
And you got to remember what the other person said, because you can't say something related to something you said 2 days ago is the thing. That's how Jake got me.
That was because
we have a friend.
I can't remember which word got you. Was it game theory that got you, like specifically?
I think it was like something to game, then to Pat, and then or something.
I know because I said Emma, and that's
right.
Like our friend Emma watches Game Theory, and we both known that because she used to have a pop socket on her phone of Game Theory.
Yeah, and she like so, it's a good show.
There's a lot of science. We both connect her to Game Theory, so. Like
in our
3
brains.
days later.
By the way, hi Emma.
If she ends up watching this, hello. But 3 days later, one of us, I guess I said Emma, and you said Game Theory, and I was like,
Meanwhile, at some point, you had said Game Theory.
I think I said that the first
2 days. Yeah, within the first day, and then you have to call back to the original, and I'm just like, shit.
You just have to be able to remember and
everything.
But like the thing is like that it's all you have to get really specific after you play the game for so long.
Oh yeah.
That like
really specific.
It is hard to lose. Game Theory was just a specific reference that ended up killing.
Yeah, and if you don't call them on it that you had said something earlier, it doesn't count. You have to remember it.
Yeah.
You have to challenge.
Yeah. That's the hard part.
I don't know if this is entertaining to anyone else, but that is basically like how the game rolls.
It
with
actually
us.
was fun. Like, you think it sounds like pretty simple, but if you do it, like, you're just, because you have to rationalize, which like gets like in little like fun arguments with your friends about how things are related. You just like blurt out random words, and it's just
What we might have to do.
Fun. It is fun.
What we might have to do is, and I'm comfortable saying this because it's more than likely more. Maybe I shouldn't. Our travel thing in the next couple months. Should I say that yet, or should we? We
just say we're planning to do it because there's nothing wrong. Like,
we have a travel thing coming up soon, and we were planning on doing a podcast on the road trip because we were gonna drive.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to fly and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we were gonna do a really long drive. Just like a road trip thing, the two of us, and we were gonna get the shotgun mics and like do a podcast with it. We might have to play that going down the road for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it
kills time. It's a good time killer.
It is. Like, I'll be cooking dinner and just like that's how we'll get through everything.
Yeah. I'll just be still sitting looking at my phone and we're just bouncing back and forth. Like, it's so easy. But I just had a thought about that trip because I just realized something. What we're talking about, like the stop I was planning on taking, we can do in the back half, and then I don't mind taking like a single flight.
Why did we not think of that?
Yeah, I don't know. We just
we can talk about this more later.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's like probably the prime way to do it.
I did say something
Transcendental?
No, I can't speak. I don't know really bad. Tangentially related to what I was cooking.
That's there.
I wanted to talk about my new hobby. Fuck, I need to go back to speech therapy.
Yeah,
I really do.
You've been doing a lot of cooking recently, is what you're gonna say?
Yeah, no, I picked up a new hobby.
Yeah,
and I'm cooking.
Yeah,
I'm cooking, and more importantly, the thing I consider more of the hobby is baking.
Yeah,
I'm making banana bread tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to make banana bread.
Now, you made some pretty smacking brownies the other day.
And
the chicken sandwich is really good too.
We got to go through the saga of these fucking brownies.
Yeah,
and then before everyone goes like, "Oh, look at him, he's," they were completely sober.
Yeah,
non happy time brownies.
Oh, I didn't think about that. No, they were
just brownies. I was just baking brownies.
We're actually not really hardcore.
No, I was just making brownies.
Sorry, guys, if you thought we were cool people.
I've been learning to bake and stuff a lot and cook stuff. I made chicken sandwiches tonight.
Yeah,
I freaking fried up some chicken sandwiches. If you guys are looking for like a good cooking oil too, I also recommend avocado oil as opposed to like vegetable. You can substitute it in pretty much anything. It's really good. But it was good, and it seemed pretty healthy too. Like, good it's better than like regular oil and stuff like that.
Like
peanut oil, vegetable oil. There's so many oils.
It was somewhere between grilled and kind of fried.
If you still want to like fry it up, I would go with avocado oil.
Yeah.
But the saga of these brownies is that prior to a couple months ago, I don't really cook. I don't really I don't bake, especially because that's like science.
Yeah,
you can mess it up really easily. So I meticulously was like looking at recipes and stuff. How do I do this? And then I set out on a fucking mission.
The lady with the math, but it's just you and
no, you know what it was like? Is it Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's like pointing at the board with all the lines across it. It was that, but with like brownies and eggs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, with this pan that I've been using, I need to cook it for this long because the pan's gonna continue to cook it for a little bit longer. And by the time the first one was like, okay, it was a decent attempt at brownies. The second time I made them was like. That's when they were like a gooey mess. Like I was trying to I pulled these out way too early.
Yeah.
But they were still delicious because there's really no way to like. You could eat brownies at any step in the equation and they're still delicious.
Wait, was that the other day?
No.
The ones that were a gooey mess?
No.
That was a while.
That was a while ago.
Okay. I was about to say because
by 3 or 4, I'm getting closer, and then those ones I think you had the other day. That was like that was probably like 6 or 7.
Well,
that was 6. Like there were so many brownies in this equation. Our health kick is going great, by the way.
Yeah.
There were so many brownies about that time. It was like character arc, man.
It's the only thing I got like a batch of these brownies like Because I mean I'm away from home, so that
I think
does
I
make
gave him a
sense,
bunch of them
but-
away to people.
Yeah, you guys be having like friendly conversations with your neighbors and stuff,
Yeah.
like weirdos.
I really don't. I really don't have that equation all that off.
Yeah. Or at
that
least
com-
your mom is friendly with your.
Yeah, that she'll talk to her neighbors all day long.
Give them exchange peanuts and stuff and weird things that people do when they're friends with their neighbors.
Dude, it's weird. That's the farm person in her, where she's like,
But that's resourcefulness. You got a big old bag of boiled peanuts. That's awesome.
yeah.
I wish I got.
But basically, it was like I went through a full character arc. I went through a full arc, man, of baking these cookies, and then I moved on. Then I think I did banana bread one day, and then it was like prepackaged stuff still.
I think I had your banana bread. It's pretty good.
It was banana bread, and then I made a red velvet cake.
Yeah.
We did not eat all of that because it was a giant cake and it went stale.
Oh.
It was so much cake. I don't understand the right proportions yet.
Yeah.
But that is there. And now I'm doing banana bread again.
Wait, do you eat sweet potatoes?
No, not a lot. Occasionally, but if you want me to make like a pie, I'll do it.
Does it depend how they're prepared or something like that? Because I have a really good recipe for like a sweet potato, like it's like a dessert casserole. Like we
with
make
like
it
the
a certain way.
marshmallows, and, like that thing they always give at Thanksgiving.
Because if you eat that
dude,
stuff,
I'm gonna have a good time at Thanksgiving this year. This is
I
the
was
first
gonna
year
say,
I've been
like,
able
I'll
to
teach you how
cook.
to make it. Like if you if you want to learn, I've got the recipe in my desk over there. Like,
The problem is that this is a problem that we have a lot of time.
Yeah.
But whenever I pick up a new hobby,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, this is for me. This is how I'm doing. It immediately turns into, how do we turn this into a project?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I just want to, because I always like making
Do a cooking
things.
show.
That's immediately what
That's
happened.
what you
was
called me
like,
and said. I remember that. I forgot that you talked about that.
I was like, man, I'm just having such a good time cooking. Man, it's just this thing for me. I was like, man, and it's not for anybody else. I'm not. My art's not out there. It's like I just get to sit here, bake the brownies and eat them, and then or don't. Sometimes they'll just go bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm wasting food like a true American. And then, within the same breath of that rambly sentence, I'll be like, man, we should start a cooking show.
Yeah.
We should make a really like cooking show where we're just sitting around maybe a reverse Martha Stewart thing where maybe I do it really badly.
Yeah. Well, he calls me and tells this, and I'm just like, at the end of the day,
I burn myself.
You're the head of this company.
I burn my hands so frequently when cooking.
Oh my
And I'm imagining like us in there cooking something, and then I'm just like do ah.
Yeah, I've seen you get injured actually a good few times. We've known each other for a good few years, so I guess that does leave plenty of room. But
It's
like I told you, you're the head of this company. But at the end of the day, you have to delegate. You can do a cooking show, but you have to let someone else star in it and film it and everything like that. Like you just have to produce.
Yeah, but that's not my ego won't let me do that.
You
I have
full
to be
creative control.
I have to be the one getting blown in a movie theater and then somebody writing a song about it, okay? Callbacks.
Good luck with that.
That's listen.
Good luck with that. That's
my
never...
head. I'm shocked my head can fit into a frame, but the problem with that at the same time is, am I egotistical if I'm aware of it? Am I?
Yes.
If it's all a secret ploy to hide my insecurities, we talked about this. We talked about my new plan with life.
I do not support your plan.
My plan,
but
listen, to subdue
better than
my
nothing.
entire subconscious nature, which I am a self-conscious person.
Yeah.
I am, but I'm getting help.
Yeah.
All right. My plan is just go the exact opposite direction and like be a complete egomaniac.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. This isn't as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
Because what will end up happening is that my ploy of being an egomaniac and my actual natural self-conscious nature will kind of even out into a regular human being.
Yeah.
And it's working out pretty well.
Okay. See, I understand what you mean though about the like knowing that you have an ego. I had to build an ego.
Yeah,
when I was
you have
young,
the opposite problems.
I had to build an ego out of nothing. But this was when I was pretty young because I was a pretty insecure person too. I just had to like start being like, nah, you're the shit.
Is the other camera working?
I think I started actually like succeeding a little bit first, but I was still insecure. So I was like, no, just like I kind of had that blind confidence, but it was more like not blind. Like it was just like I had to start acknowledging that I was actually not fucking up.
Well, especially because I've definitely put on this whole persona of like this guy that truly like doesn't care and like doesn't like is such like a happy-go-lucky person. I am,
Yeah,
90% of the time, but then that 10% creeps up, and it's like, I'm human. I have the same mental health crises that all of you do. But like, I just genuinely think if I go in this direction, I'll either live a happy and healthy life or start a cult, and I'm cool with either, frankly.
I couldn't.
What's my cult?
I'm not gonna
theme?
be in your cult.
Why
just
not?
So you know. I'm not down
cult.
for the cult lifestyle because like how many stipulations are there?
Not many. Maybe I'm just thinking like I'm just thinking.
Is that a valid question to ask a cult leader?
I'm thinking my cult's gonna be based around brownies. So we'll cook the brownies, and
I don't like that because that reminds me of Kool-Aid in a certain other cult.
We're not putting
poison brownies.
We've already established I haven't been putting drugs in the brownies.
It's not. It wasn't drugs. It was just straight poison or whatever it was. They just killed them.
It's fine. I don't need to do that.
You have to have like the anti-cult. You can call it
the anti-cult.
Like don't like. Be so like happy and carefree that like you can't be classified as a real cult, but you have that same like
vibe.
Yeah,
we'll be the first act of every cult movie.
The anti-cult.
Where it's like you walk, like the new fresh blood comes walking in, and everything's so happy. We'll just never get to that second act.
Yeah,
we'll be called Act 1. That will be my cult name.
I think there's a company called Act One. You might get sued.
Shit.
Just don't make any money off of this, and
no money.
Fine.
First decision of what did you call stipulation? Stipulation of my cult is
Act One.
We're making no money. We're gonna live in I'm gonna seduce a middle-aged person who owns a lot of land in the mountains, and then I will
wait,
and then we as a cult will live.
So the first part of your plan is to seduce a. I'm assuming.
It's more of an investment.
I'm assuming a widow.
Yeah, I mean, or just like a really lonely person.
Seems a little bit predatory.
Yeah, you're right. Shit.
Just for like, we want to use your land for our cult.
Maybe I could just like be like, hey, can we use your land for your cult? And we'll just be like company.
Be upfront about it.
You're really lonely.
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah, just fill their need without like having to like seduce them. Like just be like,
yeah,
we just want to be there for you.
Yeah, the more I think about it, it's like, yeah, I really don't want to have sex with you. I rather just like chill.
Yeah.
You want?
I mean,
so
yeah, she's probably an old lady,
yeah.
so yeah, you don't want that.
I mean, I was thinking like middle age, but yeah, we could go with old lady.
Oh, I was thinking like widow, like with a lot of land.
Well, I mean, they could have Final Destination some shit. I don't know, or maybe she killed her husband. Maybe that's the Act 2 that we never get to.
It's like that Bob's Burgers episode where she like pushed her husband off the roof, maybe.
Oh, damn it. Am I just recycling old ideas? This is the problem.
No, that's what life is.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But that is the problem with like, sometimes I'll be writing a thing and be like, oh, wait a minute. Shoot.
Well, as long as you have stuff to differentiate it and you're not writing it based off. I mean, I guess you can base something off something else as long as it's like. I don't know. I don't know the rules.
I don't know. There's a lot. I don't know. I'm just not gonna start a cult. That's too much effort.
No, it's a good idea. Now, I'm actually on board with this.
You've already established you won't join my cult.
I won't join it, but I'm on board with you starting it now. I wasn't before.
Okay. So are you going to invest in my cult?
I don't know if you should call it Act 1, though. I feel like that might be...
I don't know.
I feel like that might be the name of, like, birth control, maybe? like, I can't really remember, but it's coming up with birth control vibes. So I'm gonna say change it to something else.
Okay. We'll be called we're just gonna be called what's the name of the shit? I'm trying to remember.
I'm waiting.
Plan B. We'll just be called Plan B.
No.
There we go.
You just embraced it.
No,
Instead
here's
of
the
going
problem though.
away from it.
If we name ourselves after a birth control, then the government's gonna try to get involved with us, and we don't want that.
No. No.
That's just how it is.
God dang it.
We're gonna quickly get away from this topic as I look forward. It's just a thought. If any of you are like interested in my not cult, my anti-cult.
Yeah, if you're on board with this too, if you're kind of like me, and you know you want to start
if you
it,
just want
you're
something
part
to
of
do,
it, you know.
like if you're kind of bored.
If you're on my side, comment baloney.
Baloney. Oh, now the problem is I get text notifications for that stuff sometimes. So it'll be like, here's all the new comments.
I'm
It's
gonna
just
comment baloney.
Baloney.
If you
You
guys
know what?
don't
You know
comment
what? Do
baloney,
it.
you're not really
That's
that
so
cool.
good for the engagement. I'm fine. We mentioned a minute ago my that like writing stuff recently. Should we share my new writing exercise that I've been doing? That's simultaneously burning me out but not burning me out.
Well, no, I think it's healthy to try new things. And if you find that it's not working for you, then that's fine. But I think it's a good practice.
It is working. Basically, I was listening to an interview with Stephen King, and I'm not really into his books all that much. Which reminds me, I still have your book that you gave me. I never read it.
Which one?
The
3 stories,
yeah.
Mr. Harrington's phone, and the one I got from Maine.
I don't know. I have not opened the book yet.
I bought a Stephen King book from Maine when I went to Maine because I thought it was important.
Oh yeah. But
in the airport, actually.
Was it, man?
Yeah, I didn't go to his house.
Was
or
it the?
his
No, I
hometown
was
or
hoping
anything.
that you would, if you were in an airport, you'd buy like Langoliers or something.
No, it was like the newest book that he put out. Like I looked for other ones, like one of the classics that was set in Maine. Well, actually, no. The book that I gave you, I think, is at least the first story is set in Maine. But I don't know.
I was listening to an interview with him, and he was talking about, I think it was with George R.R. Martin. And he was just talking about like, how do you write so quickly? And that's hilarious if you know anything about Martin and the Song of Ice and Fire books. But that's just how it is.
He had to get that advice.
Yeah. And Kink was like, well, I write 3 pages a day, which is not like, it's not nothing, especially for novels. That's a lot more than what I do because it's like script-based stuff. Yeah. Which is like, there's a lot more air between each line that takes up a lot of space. And so I've been trying to write 3 pages every day. And some days have been 1.5, some days I've forgotten all entirely. Yeah. But overall, it has improved the amount I am writing, even if it's like on a script that I know we will never use. Yeah. You know, or it's something that's like, there's one script I've talked to you about that's like a really long draft compared to what we normally do. Yeah. And that one is like, that's such a far down the road even idea to pitch that I'm like, I'm not even gonna worry about that right now. But that is my current, and I'll keep updates on this and see how it's going. Is it gonna burn me out quickly? Is it not? I don't feel burnt out is the thing. I feel very productive actually. Yeah. So, and I've never been. You know where I think a lot of it actually comes from is from college. Yeah. Because I tell you about when I was when I made the mistake, I took 3 essay heavy classes in one semester. I think it was my second to last semester. I was writing 3 to 4 essays a week.
Oh, screw that.
Here's the thing though. It makes you really fast at typing and makes you really like good at getting ideas on paper. Yeah. You know, and frankly, it's like I much rather. That's what this show is just like, instead of typing, I'm just talking. Yeah. You know, I can formulate an essay in such a way that I'm like, all right, the thesis statement, blah, 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 point, a conclusion, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like, that's not like an issue for me. So, like, I did it, and I passed all those classes with flying colors. Yeah. It was just like, it's a lot to do, you know, when you're like, all right. This is due in 8 hours, and then my next one will be due in 8 hours, and then, because I think they were also staggered like that, where I'm like, oh, so basically every day of the week, or every couple days, or 4 days out of the week, 3 days out of the week, I was like, all right, time to sit down and write 3,000 words. And not all of them were like, some of them were like, here's, write like 400. And like, that's easier. But it does, you know, brute forcing my way through that because I had to.
Yeah.
I do think it overall did help me because now I can parse out what's good for me.
Yeah.
And it's still a shit ton of words.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah. No, I feel like I had one class when I was my one and only semester that she made us write an essay, and then she made us do basically the same essay like multiple times, which I would understand if she was helping us expound upon this, but it was sort of like just I don't know. It didn't really it didn't help me because I was like, I like my essay, and there's not a lot more I can say about this topic because she let us pick our own topics in the first place, not really telling us that we'd be like doing this. And then she was like, okay, now take that essay and you're gonna write it, but like this another time, like this, and reformat it. And I was like, that's not gonna be easy since I picked kind of like a topic that doesn't have a lot of research on it yet. I picked like a very new like abstract topic that I was interested in because you told me to, and then I was like screwed for the rest of the year.
Yeah, when it's something that's like you're going to be going back to it several times.
Yeah.
And it's the thing about abstract things is that they're also often very like you have to. You can't revise.
It's hard to
a lot.
format, and it's hard to like say like this is right. This is a good like thing to say.
But
about
if at the
this,
beginning of it is like, all right, pick something very structured because we're going to be coming back to this a lot.
That's
a lot easier.
Or made it clear at least.
Yeah. And which is, you know, it's to each their own. Like, it's just like schools are kind of difficult with their, like with mine, when I was writing those essays, it was like, especially like, I think it was also, this is when I was doing like A Christmas Carol and everything like that. So I was already spending most of my time like at the campus and stuff.
Yeah.
Let alone in front of my computer.
Yeah.
I think that's why my last semester was like, all right, just give me everything online. I'm not leaving this place.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm taking some time off. My last semester was actually very fine because it was like absolutely no like fluff classes or anything like that. It was just like, take these last things you need. I didn't do my lab science. I had to have one lab science for my degree. It said multiple years to do them. I did not do it until the last possible semester. And it was geology.
Yeah.
Not exactly a complex lab science. It's like, is that a rock? Yep.
Yeah.
That's the extent. What kind of rock? I don't know. Granite? I don't know.
It's amethyst.
Amethyst. No, they didn't give us anything.
No, I assume they wouldn't have the money to give all the students big old chunks of, you know, I've actually never taken a class like that.
You know what made college infinitely? I'm not gonna say it made it any difficult or more easy for me. Yeah. It just was another step in the process. It was the fact that I after my first year, I didn't buy a single textbook unless I physically had to, because now they force you to buy the textbook to get access to the homework. Yeah, which is a great scam, you capitalist cucks.
Yeah, I've had classes like. Actually, most of my classes like that at Anderson.
But that is like, it's scammy. But like, if a class was like, you definitely absolutely need this textbook, I'm like, do I really? You know what? I'm gonna wait 2 weeks, and if I get a 0 on one assignment because I didn't have the book, you know what? It's a worthy sacrifice to figure out. I would rather have 1 0, and because I'm a good student, frankly. Yeah. I would rather have 1 0 in this grade book, and that I'll easily come back from, than have spend $300 to $400 right now. So, and that's often what happened. Yeah. Where I'm like, do I need this or do I not? And most of the time I didn't. Yeah. So, you know, if you're willing, if you're a person who's got like a perfect GPA, and you don't want to give that up, it might not be worth it to you. But if you were like me, where you kind of coasted to like a BA student, like you're fine. Like I got like a couple C's here and there, like maybe. And I was my scholarships were fine. I think I had 1 C. I think I had 1 C during that. Yeah. And then I might have had I think maybe 1 year I had a D for some reason. I can't remember what class it was. I just remember that it sucked. Yeah. It was like the worst class in my life. But I still passed. They still handed me this piece of paper that I spent a bunch of money for. Yeah. And now I might go back and do it all again. I don't know. Let's figure out.
Yeah,
Let's figure out if the
gotta
projects that we're working on right now, if those do well or not.
Yeah, I've got to figure out my.
My fate is in
pretty
your
soon,
hands.
Like within the next semester.
Well, you like have to because of like.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't technically, but it would be not very smart not to because I have those like opportunity like.
Yeah, you
that
have
money
money
waiting
stuff.
for me.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know.
But I'm used to taking online classes now because our entire medic school was cut between going in and sitting in class for like 8 hours.
Mhm.
We did a lot of physical stuff, and we did a lot of like little quizzes and stuff on our like we had stuff that we had to, take care of ourselves, which I wasn't used to. But then I got used to doing all the online quiz and stuff, all that computer work that we had, and now I kind of I feel like I could go back to school, and I handled that school pretty well. I didn't do bad in anything, so
it's like one of those things. One of the good side effects of COVID, not that there were many, but it was like working from home and doing classes from home. It's so much easier.
people actually formatted it to be.
Yeah, it was so much easier. Well, I think during the early days of it, it's like not a lot of people had figured it out.
Because not as many people did it.
It was
But
also
then when it became
sudden.
commonplace, it was like, okay, now that all of us have to figure this out, let's make this better. Which is where Zoom and stuff like that
I
came
have to
in
go
the beginning.
to 1 2-hour in-person meeting for something for it in like a month, and I'm so not. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Let me just send me an email. I'll scan through it and get the important bits.
Yeah.
Like that's my problem with everything I do,
Mm.
which is, I guess you can argue this podcast is all fluff, so maybe that's where I just inject it all.
Yeah.
But in my day to day, I don't want any fluffy bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
can
why
agree
I'm
with that.
incapable of writing a document that's more than 40 pages.
Yeah.
Is because I'm just like, I can't have any fluff. Just get to the things that we need and then we want to see.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know. And sometimes that's important. Like you can make a dialogue scene very much like a back and forth transaction, or you can make it something that's like, man, I really like watching these two interact. If you don't want to see them interact, don't write that scene.
Yeah.
To tie it all back. Let me drink my tea sarcastically.
To the writers.
Well, you learned about jumping sharks today. You learned about, and this is coming from a guy. I suck at writing.
So where are we at right now? Do you know the time? Could you see?
No. What time is it on here?
No, wait.
When did we start? It's 9:15.
I don't know.
Okay, let me look at the. I'll stand up and walk over here.
we probably should have checked.
We really should have it. We're
It's
about
not-
50.
It's 9:07.
Listen, we've established that all of my clocks are ahead, and I will do nothing
How
to
is your
fix it.
phone's clock ahead?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's something that, like, phones actually don't do that unless you like.
No, I'll show you. I am on the East Coast with it, and that's it. I'm on East Coast time, and it's just like ahead, and it's been that way, like for several years. And the problem is, I think it keeps drifting. I think it's drifting further and further is the problem.
You need to just like look it up or hard reset.
Because it
I don't
used to
know.
be like 2 minutes ahead or 5 minutes ahead, and now it's like, what was the difference? You said 9:07.
Yeah.
So it's 10 minutes ahead right now.
It's 9:08.
9:08. So like, okay, it's 8 minutes ahead right now.
What the heck?
It does keep me perpetually on time. Which
Yeah,
is
but
nice.
the phone like analog clocks, whatever else, like that makes sense. But your phone's not supposed to do. It's supposed to be like set by the internet. And you do have internet, which is the weird part. It's like it's not. I don't know. That's weird.
I don't know. Listen, if any of you know the solution to my problem, I love to hear it, because I don't. I have no idea what's going on.
Fix my problems.
Fix my
$5.
You'll get nothing.
Oh, I was gonna pay him $5.
No, you won't.
Fix my problems, not his. He's gonna pay you nothing. I'll
They
give
get
you $5.
Quality entertainment is what they get.
$5.
You get these fun TikTok clips. TikTok clip. I've got a story for you.
Actually, nested up on the TikTok kit.
I've got a legitimately bizarre thing I saw on the far side of the street the other day, and I specifically did it. I almost I gotta call Jake and tell him about this, but I'm like, no, wait, we're filming this.
What?
I was driving home the other day, and I drive by, and I like there's always people on like the side of the road making $7.25 an hour in the blazing heat.
Yeah.
Because like we're in that, I know I said it was cold in here earlier. We're in that weird awkward period where it's like if it's early morning or night, it's freezing. If it's the middle of the day, it is 90 degrees.
Yeah.
But I was on the side, so I drove by, and there's this guy. I'm sitting at a red light, and this guy, I hear quiet riots. You got to fight for your right to party.
Yeah.
Coming out of it, coming like from somewhere. I'm like, what is going on? It's like, who's playing hair metal at this point in the day? And I look up, and there's a guy just thrashing on the side of the road, his head back and forth. And then I'm like, all right, well, this guy's on drugs. I'm like, oh, wait, no, he's not on drugs. He's got a sign.
Yeah.
He's got a sign. I'm like, oh, you know what? That guy is giving in his all. He's probably making dog shit money, but he is having a good time. Good on that guy. And he's got this giant sign he's pointing at. I'm like, oh, he's probably got it's normally like a car wash or something. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, he's probably like, oh, is this a car wash? I'll pull in here and I'll see. I pull in, and it's an oil change place. And I'm like, you have to like make an appointment for this shit. Why is he on the street? Like, come on in, get your oil changed.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
It wasn't. At least not the ones that we have around here. You just drive in and be like, "Hey, change my oil." And they're like, "Okay."
What? That's like a 40-minute process.
No, it's not.
I've gone to the same mechanic for like 10 years, or like, how long have I been driving for? A long time.
I'm not gonna. Don't tell me this now. I need to know how much you pay for this person.
No,
it's not 40 minutes. 40.
Like 20.
Okay, that's reasonable.
20 to 30.
20 minutes. I literally pull in, and this is only because we don't have a space. Like if I would have my own place, my own driveway, and everything like that, I would just change my own fucking I don't care.
Yeah.
But we don't have that space.
Yeah, we really
and I'm definitely not gonna spill my oil out onto your drive, like your rock driveway or your parents' driveway. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get it changed, and I get a military discount at that Take 5 place up the road. So it's like, it's pretty quick, and they always change my wipers and a few other things. I'm like.
Okay, but I'm so used to like you have to call up your mechanic.
Yeah.
You have to.
No, I've never made an appointment with any. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm so used to like call up your mechanic and make an appointment, and then like you have to show up 5 minutes early, and then you have to sit in those leather chairs for a little while.
That's probably why that place is called Take 5, is because they're like one of the places that does it on command. But like,
okay, so
that should become commonplace because like there's no reason for it to be that complicated.
That makes more sense because I was sitting there like, wait a minute. You have to like schedule oil changes with mechanics and stuff.
It probably was a Take 5.
It probably was.
I bet you.
I don't know.
Oh, well, you don't remember where you were?
No, I think it was further off, in the middle of nowhere.
Well, they're building a whole shit ton of them around here.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch, so there's no telling.
There's no telling.
There's no telling.
But that was the. I'm glad you explained.
You could do that.
I mean, I guess I could. He had like some hair metal vibes going on. Like he was definitely putting on the vibe. There's another person in our town who I see this person constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start the story this way. And then I'm gonna there's gonna be a second act twist going through here where you're gonna be like, oh, so that because you know me, I don't recognize people.
Yeah.
I don't know
names
people.
Names,
faces, general like
thumbprints, Social security numbers.
Nothing. I know nothing about most people. Like it's so much of like one in one ear, out the other. Yeah. And my friends can attest to this, where I just don't. Here's what happens, because you gave me shit the other day in Catch a Movie when I was talking about names.
Wait, which name?
We were talking about like, do people? They were talking like they kept naming a bunch of names from people they went to school with. It was in one of the Halloweens, and you were like, it was like, do people remember the names of people they went to high school with? And I was, and you were like, no, that's just you. You just do that all the time. Forget everything.
Yeah.
And you're right, I do, and I'm content with that.
It's just like It's different if it's somebody that you barely see, like, you don't even have any classes with them. But like, I personally, I'm pretty good with. I will admit, maybe I'm good with names, so I'm a little bit biased. I know most everyone in our grade by face. I could see them and name them just because we went to school with them for so long. But like, what's surprising about you is that we'd be in a class with somebody, or you talk with them, or work with them every day, and you'd be like, "What's her name?" And I was like, "Oh, you know that person's." I was like, "You have to."
You want to know the worst thing here? I went to a retail store a while back. It was like a crafts place. And this guy, have I told you the story?
I bet I know what you're
And this
say.
guy comes up to me and it's like, John Michael Curl. And I'm like, yeah. It's like, yeah. Or he's like, sorry, you're that guy, right? Yeah? Huh? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, first thing I'm like, fuck, does he listen to podcasts? Like, that was my first thought. I'm like, damn it. Fuck. Because the next thing he says is, oh yeah, we went to elementary school together. And I'm like, who remembers somebody they went to elementary school with?
I do.
Why? I can name one. We've named her already. Emma. That's it.
Well, yeah, but you knew who all the way through high school. I remember people that I went to elementary school with and probably have not talked to since then.
Well, we've also talked about how I don't have memories until like age 4 or 5.
Well, yeah, most people don't.
But I thought I've talked to people who's like, no, I remember things when I'm like 2.
Those people are either crazy or they just have some kind of weird memory. Like they've got an advanced memory.
I'm trying to legitimately think.
Telling you,
I would have to call my parents and ask them. I'm like, or talk to them and be like, when did we watch Ghostbusters when I was a kid? When did you show me that movie? That might be my earliest memory.
See, I feel like you probably have memories that you could dig up that are from earlier than you think.
Or when I got my scar on my hand. That might be my earliest memory.
Well, I guess I have memories from when I was pretty young. I don't know if it was like, it might have been 2 or 3 or something like that. I have one where I stuck my hand in an elevator when I was really young, and I know I was really young.
Sorry, I should not. But I just imagine tiny Jake going, and shaking hands.
Just don't picture it's me. Just picture a little kid sticking their hand in an elevator. Yeah.
But the reason I bring all this up, and then why we're bringing out, like, the reason I remember this person is, do you remember, is his name Larry, the guy in Amazing World of Gumball who, like, worked every job in the town?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like this person is, like, the real Larry, because I see them everywhere. I think they definitely work at the grocery store, they work at my coffee shop, I think they might work at the post office.
You're telling me this person, like, they only went to elementary school with you, like they didn't go to high school with us?
Oh, no, not that person. I'm talking about the original person I was talking the story about. That person who's like, yes, that person was just like, oh yeah, you remember we went to elementary school with that. And if I had thought about it more, I would have been like, oh yeah, but I just went.
And then they moved away.
I just went, no. Like, so blank face. I was so taken aback. I'm like, what? I've never seen this human being in my life. Yeah. And you just called me by name. And I'm like,
yeah, that's kind of scary.
Let alone do I know your name.
Yeah.
But
I don't like stuff like that either.
This person who works around town was the original person, like that I was saying I recognized. Yeah. The Act 2 twist that we're getting to. Yeah. Okay. This person, they work at the grocery store, the post office, the freaking and coffee shop. I feel like I see them everywhere. Wait, like at every
guy or girl?
It's a woman, and we'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
I see this person every single place I go, and they are always working their ass off, and I'm like, man, how America has failed, watching this person having to go and work this many jobs to keep afloat. But I see them with this look in their eye, like they are actually kind of like enjoying it, and like they're working their absolute ass off. Okay, are you ready for our Act 2 twist?
Maybe.
The reason I recognize this person is because they only have one arm. And I see them everywhere with just working harder than everyone else in that store. Doing, like, imagine, Lisa, I'd have no idea. If you should put me behind the bench at a coffee shop or, like, make a coffee, I would have nowhere to start. And she is flinging all of this stuff around with, like, her half arm and then her full hand.
Yeah.
just at an amazingly rate, and I watch this person go. It's everywhere I go, and it makes me really reconsider a lot of my selfhood. Like, man, I am a lazy fucking person.
I thought I would know who you were talking about, but I've never seen that person in my entire life.
Yeah, dude, I see him everywhere. And I feel like it's becoming a bias.
I feel like that's your.
I feel like maybe I should talk to my psychiatrist about this. This person might not be real.
Yeah, I feel like maybe like it's one of those Tyler Durden things. Like he's just sort of like there.
I don't
to push you along a journey of some kind that I don't understand.
At some point, they're gonna come up to me. At some point, they're gonna come up to me and hand me a red and blue pill in the same hand, obviously. But
okay, so it's not Tyler Durden. It's actually
Morpheus.
It's actually Morpheus.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I don't know.
Wait. Never mind. What
do you?
I didn't
make the joke.
It wasn't. I just got confused for a second. It's fine. I'm not confused anymore.
But I do. Part of me is like, man, I just want to ask this person, like, how? Like, there's so many questions that rises out of me from this. First off, what happened? The obvious one is like, what happened to your arm?
Yeah.
Because that's like a life-changing thing to some. Was it a birth thing? Did you have one? Was it a car accident? Was it something?
You can a lot of times tell by the. I hate to say like by the way that like the nub is.
Okay, you went to medical school.
I did not go to medical school.
You went to medic training.
Yeah, I can't tell that my medic training. I'm just saying like
I can't remember the name of the guy who was working at a craft shop.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been through this. My memory's not great unless it has something to do with cinema from the 20s to about the 80s.
Yeah.
If it's in that timeline, I know it.
Yeah.
Or the 90s, I guess.
Yeah.
If everything else is one ear out the other. There's so many questions that arise. I'm like, first off, why are you working every job in this town? Is this a failure of the system? Is this something where like, are you an inspiring story?
Yeah.
Or are you like, man, this person, they're doing it because they like it, which is also I think kind of a failure of the system where like you really shouldn't have to do this. Is insurance? Like,
well, no, but if they like it, then
that's what I'm
not
thinking.
A failure of the system.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
There's so many questions I want to ask.
Some people just like serving society.
But we've been through this. Yeah. I'm too self-conscious to ask these people these questions. I want a documentary. I want to watch the HBO story of this person.
I think it would be easier for you if you had a camera. I don't think it'd be easier for them if they had if you had a camera.
I don't want to film it. I just want to watch the documentary afterwards.
You want to watch a documentary on them that you didn't make.
Correct.
You can.
Am I a bad person?
You don't have a choice. No, I'm
not making fun of this person. I'm so genuinely curious about every facet of their life.
No, I genuinely think that's actually pretty sweet that you want to know about them. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I want to know first off. Now I want to know if they're real or if
you're
this
just
is
enough to watch a documentary on them, but you can't bring yourself to actually go and talk to them.
If you're listening,
but I have that, but with like people that intimidate me, like attractive women and stuff like that. But
yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Not that
about
often. I'm actually pretty bold, so hit me up.
I don't care about that at all. I just want to know the specific. And then what I really think is I'm like, man, this is. I think what it really is my writing complex of being like, man, this is like character. This person has main character energy. They are definitely like the protagonist of like a coming of age story or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's good or bad. I just want to see it.
That's badass though.
Let me make sure I don't got. Did you? Oh, and in the same vein as arms. Freaking! This is why I was at the grocery store, and it made me think about this all the other day. There's a pharmacy at the grocery store, and I also had a doctor's appointment the other day. How many? Okay, this is gonna be a really bad question. How many needles do you think you've had in your arm in one day before? Because I think I'm setting a record. If you had a question, I think I set a world record. Somebody called Guinness, and not the. Is Guinness and Guinness the same company?
No, not the beer and the.
I love that you knew exactly what I was talking about. Good.
Yeah, not the beer and the I don't think so at least, but it could be. I mean, there's a lot of big conglomerations that have multiple businesses, but I don't think that. I don't think
you don't think people are drinking beer and doing world records.
No, I don't. Well, then again, that'd be interesting.
Does Guinness have like a world record for the amount of Guinness drank. Drank.
No, is it drank?
Yeah, it's drank. The amount of Guinness drunk at any given time.
Drink.
What were we talking about?
Huh?
What were
Guinness?
No, before the Guinness.
Oh no.
Needles.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I was in the middle of thinking how many needles, and you started talking about Guinness. That's why I got confused. Let's see.
In one day, how many needles have you had in your arm at any given time?
Like at one time?
No,
or
not at one.
just
But in one day, how many
day?
individual needles have you had in your arm? I always want to know if this was abnormal for me because I had a lot in one day. Once again, not due to drugs.
Probably most, like, I don't want to like over or under exaggerate, but I'm gonna just give just because we did a lot of practices, 5 or 6.
Damn it. Okay, I was and that was, I'm assuming yours was like med training.
And I only
stuff.
say that because 2 arms, and if you get multiple attempts on one arm during one practice, and then if we did another maybe one off practice, like I'm saying, like I'm trying to think of like. Maybe if we did
this was all in your med training stuff.
Yeah, it was. Okay, it wasn't like a regular like me at a doctor. I don't remember being.
So I
went
when
I was in the hospital when I was younger.
I talked about it on last week's episode, the announcement, and all. I'm talking about my mental health and stuff. I've been going to a new psychiatrist, and sometimes I didn't know they do this, but apparently psychiatrists will often draw a bunch of blood from you to be able to test like all your hormone, your vitamins, and all that kind of stuff, just to see like how are you doing internally while we mess with you like up here.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it. Also, I'm assuming they ask you a bunch of drug related questions. I am assuming they were also probably testing me for drugs.
Yeah.
So I have a problem with donating blood or anything. I have no problems with needles. I'm fine with needles. My veins, on the other hand, and my mother's like this too, where our veins, not only do they roll so that they're just all over the place, they also, for anyone who's got like phobias of needles and stuff like that, I'm sorry, but they also, if you do get them and you're trying to draw blood from them, they'll violently explode while you're trying to do it. So even if you get it, you're not guaranteed to get the blood you need. And I don't know what causes it or what's up with that.
Yeah.
You might know more than I do.
But there's a lot of genetic factors that...
The nurse at the psychiatrist goes into my right arm.
Especially
feels
if it's you
around
and your mom,
for a while, or I think she goes into my left arm and is like, "Well, got to try to find this," and it's rolling and moving.
She's like fishing around in there.
She had to, and like it was fine. She was very nice, actually.
Well, they're supposed to, because you're not supposed to just keep you're not supposed to stick it in there and then pull it out and then stick another one.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's so much worse.
A single stick. But
yeah, I
get
it. She was actually very gentle with it. Like I've had him do that around before, and it's been so much worse. She was fine. Yeah. So eventually, she was like, "Can we try the other arm?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." Because I normally have them do everything. I think the cat's trying to get in. Yeah. I normally try to have them do everything in my left arm because I'm right-handed, and drawing becomes more sore and stiff when I do it that way. Yeah. And so she goes through that arm, can't do anything. Then she's like, "All right, we'll go through the right arm." Gets it. Luckily, she's able to get everything she needs. I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. I'm done with needles for today. Yeah. And then I get a text from my pharmacy, and at the grocery, this pharmacy is at the grocery store. Hello, which one is it?
Probably Jonesy. Yep.
Jonesy. Yeah, I hear her call her. Now, man, this might have been the first time we've shot in like a month that a cat hasn't appeared, and now she's here.
He's here, maybe.
Easier.
I don't know.
Jonesy, come here. Come here.
I thought the name was changed to Jonesy because we found out it was a guy, but
we have no idea.
It's an anomaly.
Then I get a text from my pharmacy, and they're like, "Okay, you can now are eligible with your insurance. You can get He's been going after tea bags now. They've learned, and it's awful. But I get a text from my pharmacy, and they're like, you can now covered by your insurance get a flu shot and COVID shot. You're good." And you're due for both of them because now they're officially our age bracket can now get the 4th dose Yeah, cause I've had.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I've had 4. That was my 4th dose.
I only got my 3rd as in like a booster, and I'm not really, unless like it's really stressed and it's really like.
Yeah, I'm just getting it because I got the flu shot. And
Yeah.
and also you're not. My time was actually up. Like I needed to get mine.
Yeah.
Because I got them so early. When like the second they always gave them to me, I got them.
Yeah.
And making sure she did not just okay. They call me. I'm like, okay, I'll go and get it because I'm like, I'm gonna be in and out of a lot of doctors and stuff for a while. I'm gonna be there's some stuff going on. I gotta go back and forth. Everything's fine. I just gotta go back and forth to a lot of places. I might as well go ahead and get them both.
Yeah.
So I go and get all, and I'm like, fill out this form or whatever for all of them.
Yeah.
For all of your stuff and check whatever with nada yada yada.
Yeah.
Now, when they do this, they often ask you like, which arm do you want to get? And so I always go to the left arm.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I did it, they didn't even do it like I'm like, yeah, do it both of my left arm, and they're like, well, we got 2 shots. Click in both arms. I'm like, but you can because I know they can do it now because they put it. They did both of them in my left arm.
It's an intramuscular shot.
Yeah.
They don't have to. Like if they're doing a vein, you have to hit a vein, which means that you have like that's dangerous to
mix it.
No, not mix it. It's more like hitting the same hole could cause a problem and reopen. Like it's something like that. Like if you have to put in multiple. Like, if you have to put in a lot of medications, you put in a saline lock, and you keep putting that in. Which is the reason why, like, unless we was doing multiple attempts, we wouldn't get multiple needles in our arm. We just get a saline lock and then keep injecting, like, bags and stuff into that.
So, basically, what ended up happening at the end of the day was, like, I was just covered in bandages and cotton.
But that's with fluids, not vaccines, I meant to say. But, yeah.
So, I was just covered in, like, bandage, cotton, covering everything as I was moving around. I was like, and of course, I was, like, wearing a sleeveless shirt because it was 90 fucking degrees outside.
Yeah.
And then there's no arc to the end of the story. It was just, like, I was walking around like I was in some kind of mummy. If she clicks this and it's a cat, man. There's no arc to the story. I just was wondering. I'm genuinely curious. Did I set a world record? And of course, you've proved me wrong again.
No, definitely not, because there's people who've gotten a lot more than me.
Dang it.
But because you also have to think, like, this is, like, the main one you hit in your arm, but you can hit other veins, like, if you can see them, and especially if you hit a constricting band, because you can see mine, like, all the way up my arm. So I think if that was a constricting band, those would be, like, out. Like, you'd probably hit some of those easy, so...
How many shots could you get in one day? Can I get them all? Could I get like give me everything. I want polio. I want
in your up here. Like
I don't know
anywhere. Like the extent of
just anywhere.
I don't know how many you could get. Like I guess it depends on what it was. Like there's some things you probably wouldn't want to mix, and also the symptoms that you'd have because like vaccines, like obviously they'll give you the symptoms sometimes. Because
I've yet to have any adverse reactions to any of the shots.
Of COVID or flu or anything?
Flu, I'll occasionally get something, but no, COVID, I didn't get any.
COVID,
I've had 4 doses, and I did not have any symptoms. And I think it's because I just kept reading, like, water. And I was like, okay, so I would just chug a ton of water that day.
Yeah. So my first 2 shots, I was in training.
Mm-hmm.
That's first one had a little bit of symptoms, was fun. Second shot sucked. And then I got my booster when I was back home. I'm not going to say where I was working, what I was doing, blah, blah, blah. But I did go to work, like, the next day after my shot because I had to get that shot to work, and then I had to go. I had a little bit of the symptoms, but I was like, I'm fine. I was like, as long as I don't cough. We had to keep masks on very religiously, like, when I was working anyways.
Can you transmit from the Vex? This is getting into some...
I didn't know. That's why I was like...
I know it injects
I was like, I'm just going to, be really careful.
Well,
and
at least now I know we'll have the blurb under this video that says COVID-19 Wikipedia thing because the fucking powers that led the government during the year that this virus ravaged the planet were so incompetent that now we have to have that under everything.
Yeah.
So don't get mad at us, dude. We are pro getting the shots and the jabs and all your things.
I mean, I'm
We're pro
I'm
getting the
pro
shots.
being
Oh, we
a
haven't.
healthy person, whatever that may entail.
We got. we have not addressed the blueberry that's been sitting there.
I
realized.
guess if you only watch this show, then you don't understand this.
You know what?
You
No,
have to
we're not
watch. You
gonna-
have to watch Catch a Movie.
This isn't like an ad for blueberry cereal. I just realized we've just had that there this entire time. Sorry.
It's not Halloween season yet. It's about to be Halloween season though, so get used to it, babes.
Get your
Those are in
blueberry
grocery
now.
stores right now, also. So it's basically Halloween season. Isn't that what ushers in Halloween season? Is the cereals? Come here, cat.
I don't know. It was up there at like September 1st, so I don't know.
That's what ushers in Halloween season or the fall.
And it wasn't like CVS, which celebrates holidays like 8 months in advance. They actually celebrate holidays so far in advance that it's actually comes back around to the holidays, to the right holiday.
Yeah.
So they still do it Christmas at Christmas. The only day that it becomes a problem is New Year's.
They're like,
Happy 2021. It's going to be a great year.
they're like, shit.
It's like, oh man, shit.
No, but so the weirdest thing, you know those stations that play Christmas music like way too early? Like
Oh, they're doing
months
them
too
now.
early. One of the stations started playing Christmas music and then stopped and reverted back.
They're
like
like, yeah, even we thought this was a bad idea.
They played it for like a few days and they were like, yeah, we're kind of tired of this. We're going to wait a few more months. I'm like, why did you even start? You have to commit to as a radio station, commit to your decisions. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's perfectly on the line.
You Gatorade.
No, it's water, but it's in a Gatorade bottle.
It's a Gatorade. Also, did not add Gatorade to your blueberry cereal.
Yeah.
I can't
This
believe
isn't
that
an
was
ad
up
for
there this
Gatorade
whole
Blueberry.
time. I can't believe that was up there the whole time. And we didn't think about it at all.
Is that bad?
But for real though, Blueberry, if you want to like send me some money, I'll take it. I'll pay the taxes. I don't care. So it's just pointing that out there. Hey.
Man's not gonna complain about a check. Okay.
It was also like in the center of frame.
It's the focal point of the shot. Look at this.
Your eye is
Look at
naturally
this.
drawn to it by the mic arm,
The
like leading
scary
you in that
ghost.
direction.
Mine was pointing this way, yours is pointing that way.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It all leads back to Blueberry.
And on that note, you got anything you wanted to add?
No, watch Catch a Movie.
Yeah, we got Catch a Movie.
This one's good, but you would understand why the Blueberry was there if you watched
if
Catch a
you watch,
Movie.
watch the Halloween movies.
I mean, soon.
up.
You can't watch
Soon.
it yet, but in October, follow along with us Halloween.
Yeah,
Be fun time.
it's gonna be fun time.
And Halloween, so far, the movies, not the season, have been really good. So I would suggest if you haven't seen them, like watching them. And you can watch them with us if you want to, but you can also watch them first and then watch them again.
We did talk earlier about how they jumped the shark 2 movies in, but
I don't think so. I think we talked about jumping the shark, but I don't think that they have done it yet. I think the third movie was a little bit weird, but I think that
third movie.
I think they can
weird,
move
but what's
past
the
that,
purpose?
and they haven't done it yet. I think that we'll get to jumping the shark probably around.
I think it's probably gonna be this
6.
next one.
Let's say 6 or 7.
No.
I'm gonna guess 6 or 7. If it's not this next one, then I'm gonna guess 7.
And you know what? I'll put it.
And if it is this next
I'll
one,
fade
then
out
I'm wrong either way.
on the camera angle I barely used. Goodbye.
Bye.
Sing us away.
Oh wait, this one.